Hey everybody, welcome to the Tarkir Dragonstorm pre-release day. Very exciting. It is Friday, April 4th. Got an exciting weekend coming up, going to the Ren Fair with some LARP friends. Gonna have a good time. I went and secured the bag at NextGen, my local game shop. Got some new sleeves and also got a couple spicy precons. Both this Mardu deck and this Sultai deck look really high value. I'm excited to check them out. They feel really in my play style. And then also, just as is tradition now, to kick off a new set, picked up a bundle. So we're going to go in, we're going to open all this stuff. It's going to be fun. I'm not going to dive into looking at all of the content on the commander decks, but just as a little appetizer, I am going to open them and look at the little sampler collector cards in there just to see what we get as a little teaser, and then we'll go into the whole bundle. So just to make sure my setup is good, and we'll get right into it. All right, we are going to go in and just open up and look at the contents of these awesome precons. We're not going to go through all the cards, but we are going to go and just see what we get. We'll out of these little sampler packs here, which we'll get to in 1 second. Just wanted to show the contents of the box. You got one of your classic little paper, not worth that much, little deck boxes. And we have, of course, the deck itself. There we go. Beautiful dragons. We're going to do some ghost spirit dragons. It's going to be sick. And then inside here we've got, I don't even know. Oh, this is probably like an anti-theft device or something. And then just got a little paper showing some notes about the story for this particular faction and some art. So not gonna spend too much time on that right now because we got cards to look at. So gonna just, oh no, of course we got like some +1, -1 counters, a couple little bits of cardboard, just, you know, making use of the packaging as they do. So cool. Let's see what in the first little collector sample pack. This is the first Tarkir I'm opening. Very excited. So we're just gonna flip it over. There's more where that came from. But what do we got? Rediscover the Way. We got a Jeskai saga, pretty cool. And we got a Breaching Dragonstorm in this cool treatment. Beautiful. Very nice. That is a pretty cool first open. Let's go ahead and do the same in the Mardu Surge deck and see what we get from that little sampler. B, the Raging Storm. What would the other one say? Some sort of call to action. It says, death is fertile ground. Nice. Flavorful. Cool, we got the same kind of stuff in here. Got the sample pack. Got the deck. Got our man Zergo here. He's gonna be so fun to play. He seems like, I mean, any commander you have with a fun card advantage ability built in, something aggro. I'm excited to play a Mardu token deck that isn't my Jan Jensen deck. I love my Jan Jensen deck, but it is probably my highest power deck. I'm excited to play, have a precon and do like some token Mardu stuff a little bit lower on the power curve. So let's see, what do we have? All right, we got Eshki, Dragonclaw. We got Teamer Legend here. And this, it's not in foil, so you don't get the full effect of it. I'm personally, I know there's some debate on the black treatment. I'm personally torn on it, but let's see what else we get here. We got a Storm Shriek Feral. All right, so not too big of a hit here, but beautiful card, beautiful board treatment in that foil. Yeah, so that's our little appetizer. I got 2 of these in that red foil treatment. So cool. That's our little appetizer, and then we're gonna get into what's in the bundle. All right, here we go. Tarkir Dragonstorm Bundle. I'm really excited for this. I don't even remember everything that's in here. I know there's I think there's a spin down probably. I know there's some basic lands. I don't remember if they did. I know the Finish Line bundle had that cool box topper where you had the those gold border cards. That was really fun. I don't know if they did anything like that in here, but we do. It's a really pretty box. Unlike the box that comes with the pre-cons, that's like legit a pretty high value box. I'm gonna keep cards in there. I know my camera, for getting the detail on the cards, my camera's pretty close in, but it's really pretty. It's got this cool symbol on one side. Yeah, that's a dope box. But what's inside the box is what counts. Ba-bam. All right. So we got, oh yeah, this is gorgeous. I think I saw someone open this online. This is a very pretty die. It's got this very cool opalescent glitter inside. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah. It's almost hard to focus on it because it's like really shiny and sort of see-through, but that's a really pretty spin down. On the side of the box, we got some art. We got some of these little tokens. You know, again, making use of that little bit of packaging we got here. But once again, let's start. What do we got in here? Let's lay out the contents. Let's just pour it out, and then we'll go through it. Okay, so putting the box to the side. We've got this, which I presume is going to be our basic lands. We've got a bunch of play boosters. We got this, which is a little spicy something, which we'll go into. But yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we have nine play boosters here. So tons of stuff to open. Really exciting. Good little bit of value. Let's start by going into these contents. Let's start with the basic lands. Look at some of those. You know, I like dragons. I'm not, you know, in the kibble of it all of being like a dragon fanatic. I also have a friend I grew up with who was all about dragons. And I definitely have this like hipster thing of like, if I have a friend whose thing is something, I don't want my thing to be the same thing, you know what I'm saying? But I do love dragons. I think dragons are cooler than, you know, base humans if you're getting into like making D&D characters and whatnot. Like you kind of want something magical and cool. This is a really pretty plains. These full art plains are gorgeous. Oh yeah, with the dragon shadows. That's pretty cool. Gorgeous. That is sick. So we get a wheel of those. Sorry, didn't linger on that. Not maybe quite long enough, but those are all very pretty. And then we just get, you know, some good, solid, normal basics. Pretty art. All featuring a little bit of dragon in the sky, little subtle dragon nods here and there showing the plane. Gorgeous. Awesome. So just some good base lands to get you started with having some Tarkir themed mana base. I say that, like, obviously, like, people make fun of people who just make humans as their base characters in D&D. I do like sometimes making humans as my base character, but I want there to be something else about them that makes them stand. Ooh. All right. Never mind what was about D&D. Let's get into this. All right. So this was the second sort of papery package that came with this. We got a foil Teamer Battle Crier. Teamer Orc Ranger, rare. During your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature controlled power 4 or greater. So, big Teamer Stompy stuff. This is a great enabler for that. Ooh, and then we have more. We have foil of these. Nice. We also get a foil one of each of these full art basics. These are really pretty. I might in post see if I can push the contrast a little bit, because I think they look really nice, but the foil it looks a little bit less deep than they look in person. And then we get a set of the same lands we had before, but in foil. Awesome. So basically, what you get is you get 1 pack of lands with the full arts and the normal lands, and then you get a second pack with all that in foil, but then also maybe randomized. I presume randomized, some sort of foil rare on top. So that is pretty cool. So then, after that, we're going to hop into some of these play boosters. Okay, so we're hopping into... Here, let me get these lands out of the way. Hopping into the first play booster, first full pack of Tarkir Dragonstorm. Would love to hit that Elspeth. that would go in a lot of the decks I have. It is obviously a very pushed card, really powerful card, but also just sick. It's just really cool. I keep thinking about making a soldiers deck and keep not doing it, but I think I have to if I open the Elspeth. But let's see what we got here. All right, first off, I love this art. I know we're gonna go through them. Got draw card 1, harmonize. Yes. Osseous exhale. Osseous, I believe, means bone-like or having to do with bones. I might be wrong. Got a shock brigade. We've got a feral death gorger. I'm excited that adventures are back. Adventures are such a cool mechanic. Getting a double dip on a card is sick. Dog soldier. Focus the mind. Summit intimidator. All right, getting into the uncommons. Unrooted ancestor. Got a flash 3/2 for 3. Sack to give it indestructible and tap it. Nice. Duty beyond death. Nice. That's really solid for a go wide format. I think this card is maybe in the Mardu precon, but it's a really solid card. Assaultine Monument. So it's an artifact that lets you fetch yourself a land into hand and create some zombies by sacrificing. Yeah, it's a bit enough. Ooh, we got one of those cool treatments. Edge, not foil, but you know, that pretty border. Got the Boulderborn Dragon. And we got a Songcrafter Mage. We got another, so far we've opened a few Teamer rares. Get harmonized on stuff in your graveyard. Nice. And then we got a aggressive negotiations in foil. And that Tranquil Cove. Okay, so little, you know, we're easing into it. Actually, look at that art card for them. That's just very pretty, so vibrant. But yeah, all right. So first pack, you know, all right, we're getting into it. We're seeing what we got here, getting a feel for it. Let's see what we get into pack number 2. Got 8 more packs to go. Let's open some value. Let's see what we get. All right. So we got a Snowmelt Stag. Got a Stormplane Detainment. We got an enchantment. Got a Seize Opportunity. Modal instant. We got a Sand Skitter Outrider. Reminds me of Skarner. We got an Undergrowth Leopard. Dirger Island Dragon. Reigning Victor, a Mardu card. Got a Mobilize 3/3 for 3 or more, depending on, you know, where you're at. Enter target creature gets +1/+1 indestructible. Solid. Static Snare. Cost less for each attacking creature. Flash. Nice. Rennie's Rebuff. Get out of here. Get out of here. Corroding Dragonstorm. When it enters, each opponent loses 2 life and gains 2 life. Surveil 2. When a dragon enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. Ooh, spicy. Little dragon recursion. And we've got Fellothar, Dawn of the Abzan. I forget if this is not like one of the main commanders for the Abzan set. I don't recall, but it's okay. So we got 3 for a 3/3 trample, legendary human warrior. When it enters or attacks, you may sacrifice a non-land permanent. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Another very good go wide sort of a strategy. Another go wide counter strategy. That's not my sense of sort of what the Abzan, like the Abzan sort of that's the Big Butts set, right? That's the right one. Interesting. Ooh, we got a Mistrise Village. Oh yeah. All right, here's some value. So people were talking about how there's this wheel of lands with sort of it comes in untapped if you have the other 2 cards in the color sets. This is the Teamer one, and this one is just so much better than the other abilities stapled to this land cycle. Pay a blue, tap can't be countered. Like, this is getting slammed into so many decks that don't even care about the mountain and the forest like component at top. Like this definitely is getting put into like Sultai decks, all sorts of stuff. But all right, I don't know. I mean, we're on day 1 here, so prices will fluctuate and normalize. But there's some excitement about this card, so I'm excited to open it. That's sick. And then we got a foil Whale of War. Nice. Okay. And then a Thornwood Falls. Okay, and then pretty art card. Very cool. All right, I'm not mad at that. That Mistrise Village, that's a cool open. All right, let's see what else we get. Pack number 3. I'm gonna take like a quick breather every 3 packs just to, split up my videos and whatnot. But you don't care about that. You just want to see packs get open. I'm just talking shop. I've been having fun doing, I like, not being a professional social media influencer guy. I enjoy just getting to make videos when I want to make videos and not worry about it. I don't want this to be a job. I'm excited about cards. I want to share cards with you. So if you watch this, thank you. If you don't, I still had fun opening packs and making a little video. So Mardu Devotee. He's got that one of those like once per turn sort of mana fixing abilities. That's not bad. 1/2 for 1 with that ability and a Scry 2. Yeah, I think he's solid. Solid. I would play him. Creates treasure. 3/3 for 4. Meh. Prowess. Prowess is good. Got another one of these little filter devotees. Dog Cleric. Summit Intimidator. Embermouth Sentinel. Chimera. Search your basic land, reveal it, put it on top. If you control battle. Okay, so if you have a dragon, actually, this is a good little ramp card. So if you control a dragon, put that card onto the battlefield tapped. So this is a 2/1 for 2 that puts a I think that's solid in dragon deck. That's pretty fun. Unsparing Boltcaster. Or unsparring? Probably unsparing. But yeah, so when it enters, deal 5 damage. Yeah, okay, 3/3 for 3 with a little bolt. It was dealt damage this turn is a little bit limited in scope, so maybe play it limited. Whirlwing Stormbrood. We got one of these sorcery omens. We have the omen abilities. That's right. We're not just dealing with like adventures. We have this spice of omens where things get cycled back into the deck over and over. You just put it back. It's not you go into exile. It's you go back. Yeah, that's spicy. I like the omen mechanic. I think it's really interesting. It means that you can, if you have a really good omen, you care more about the omen than you do on an adventure, I think, because you have the potential to like cast it over and over again. You almost like the second part, like the actual like permanent, almost feels like the tack on at that point. But yeah, that's sick. And also, this guy lets you play dragons with flash. That's not bad at all. Cool. We got a Mardu Monument, so we got a different one of the monument cards. Creates 3 red warriors instead of whatever the other one did. I think it was like 2 somethings. I don't remember. Medicine Haste. We have an Attuned Hunter. Got some bears. Ooh, this guy actually, he's a trample 3/3 for 3. Whenever one of our cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So one of the things I'm excited about this set is that the game plan of the Sultai deck is so similar to my Amzu deck that I just know in Tarkir there's going to be cards I want to put into Amzu. Like this guy could go into Amzu because I move stuff in and out of the graveyard all the time. Oh, hey, look, we know this guy. This is Zurgo, Thunder's Decree. This is mobilize 2/4 for 3. This is the one that makes it so that your warrior tokens can't be sacrificed at the end, which works perfectly with the mobilize mechanic. That's really cool. Zurgo's a cool guy, and he doesn't afraid of anything. Old memes for old heads like me. Ice Ridge Serpent. Whatever. I mean, he's pretty. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that, Ice Ridge Serpent. Just you're not the heat. You know what I'm saying? And then we got a monk token. Oh, and a copy. It's a double-sided token. It's a copy. Dragon copies. Terrifying. And a little monk. Sick. All right. Cool. That is 3 packs. I'm gonna stretch my back for a second because I'm like leaning over these cards, but then we're gonna get into pack number 4. All right, let's get into pack number 4. We're not even halfway in. I have so many packs to open. It's so rare that I open this many packs in a day. I know some people do this all the time, but for me this is special. Yeah. I do open like, I don't know, I think I buy like, not every day. Like anytime I have an opportunity to go to my local game store, it's like walking distance to my house. That little token. Is it? Yeah, I'm on the back there. You know, I like to just walk and then reward myself from getting outside and you know, smelling fresh air with like a single pack. And I usually I'm doing pretty well recently. I'm pretty good. Got pretty good pack luck overall. I've been doing well. Anyway, let's get into this. We got a Bell Ringer. We got a Tempest Hawk. We got an Underfoot Underdogs. Let's see what they did there. They're dogs. They're under. Okay, whatever. Caustic Exhale. Behold. I have Beholding Dragons. Yeah, it's alright. Got a Crotic Nest Guard. This is an insect. I have an insect deck. Is this an insect that would go into my insect deck? He's a 4/4 defender for 3. Probably not. Heritage Reclamation. Modal card. Pretty decent modal card. Aggressive Negotiations. We had one of those in foil earlier. Got a Mammoth Bellow. Creates a 5/5 elephant. Right, so let's talk about what Harmonize does. So you can cast it from your graveyard, but you may tap a creature you control to reduce it by the creature's power. So this is a Powers Matter ability to get sort of a cast from graveyard effect. It's pretty neat. I think it's a pretty strong ability. It's interesting how it kind of makes it feel like, I mean, Teamer is usually not a Graveyards Matter kind of color, but it's just getting you a double dip on the value, I guess. So you're probably not building around like when stuff leaves graveyards and Teamer as much, but maybe you will. Right of Renewal. Return 2 permanent cards from a graveyard to your hand. Target player shuffles up to 4 target cards from their graveyard into their library. I think there are better cards that do this sort of thing. It's not bad. I think there are just better cards at that price point for doing that kind of thing. Fleeting Effigy. At the end of your step, return this creature to your hand. Interesting. Haste 2/2 goes back to hand for 1. I can see cards that want to run that, or decks that want to run that. That's interesting. We got I think this is the first Orzhov card we've seen. Marshal of the Lost. Orc Warrior. I mean, it's probably primarily Mardu or something, but you know, it's flexible. So Death Touch 3/3 for 4. Whenever you attack target creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of attack. That's solid. That's a solid dude for go wide. So I could see him getting some play for sure. Ooh, we got our first mythic. We get Smile at Death for 5. Enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less for your graveyard to the battlefield. So this is an enchantment supposed to be every turn, every upkeep after the turn it comes in. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures. That's neat. I don't think this is one of the big hits that people are looking for, but I think it's sick, and that art is real cool. She is a big, powerful general. That's sick. I love it. I'm into it. And we got those underdogs again this time. Shiny dogs. And a Swamp. And a 2-side token. We got a Dragon Warrior token. Very nice. All right. That's 4 out of 9. We're into number 5. Oh, man. Yeah, I've been building a lot of Magic decks. I'm getting like, I've been obsessive. Sorry, got a little spoiler there. I've been obsessive. I've just been like, honestly, just spending so much time like looking at theory crafting and rebuilding some of my decks. But it's really fun. It's really fun to theorize. Cool. We got one of those Omen Dragons, an Omen that creates a soldier for 2. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Rescue Leopard. What a good boy. When it discard, if you do draw. Okay. We lootin'. We got another insect. We got a flying 1/2 for 2. When it attacks, if you control a creature with a counter on it, each opponent loses 1 life. Maybe. We got Anok Wayfarer, Dog Scout, Riverwalk Technique, modal spell for 4, a little expensive. Coordinated Maneuver. Choose either deal damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature, so removal for 2, or destroy target enchantment. That's not bad. It's not too bad. We got Teamer Tawnyback, another one of these alternate costs. You could pay for a lot if you want to run this in something else for limited and whatnot. Draw a card, discard a card. Meh. Sand Steep Citadel. A tapped 3-color land. Nice. Roiling Dragonstorm. It do be royalin though. Yep. Ooh, Hardened Tactician. This is actually a card I wanted. It doesn't uncommon, but I think it goes into the Mardu deck really, really easily. Because you're going to have all these tokens that you want to die at particular times. If they die while attacking, you get to draw a card. So this, in that Mardu deck, quite often looks like pay 1, sacrifice a token, draw 2 cards. If you have that Zergo Commander out. So I think it's real good. So I'm glad to have one. Reaching Dragonstorm. Look at all these storms. The weather outside is frightful. So when this enchantment enters, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if it's 8 or less. When it enters, yes, okay, so once, and then you can put it into your hand if you don't cast it. And when a dragon you control enters, this is every time, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. Okay, so we're paying for it every time, but it's a repeatable potential free cast. That is pretty cool. Ooh, okay, and then we have a rare with an omen. We've got a Bloomvine Regent. For 5, we got 4/5 flyer. Whenever or another dragon you control enters, gain life, a little life gain. And then for 3, we have Claim Territory, which is search for up to 2 basic forest cards. Reveal them, put 1 to the battlefield, tap 1 to your hand. I think I remember hearing about this card. This is just a straight upgrade on a lot of forest fetching that a lot of other decks do. So this card is just great. And going to go into a lot of decks that previously had cards that were just the sorcery part. Because this is repeatable and has a dragon attached to it. What a deal. What a bargain. What nonsense. No, this is great. Then we have a Dog Monk, a foil Dog Monk. When he enters, you exile top card of your library, and you can play that card. When you cast your second spell each turn, he gains double strike. Okay, nice little dog. And another one of these life gain lands, which I feel like there's one of these life gain lands at the back of every pack, right? That's what's happened so far. And then we got another pretty 2-sided token. We got a very pretty little spirit. And we've got a different kind of spirit. We got double spirit action. Very useful for your spirit deck. Okay, sick. We are, what are we at, 5 packs in? I'm running out of pack space. All right, I'm gonna do one more, and I'm gonna move some packs around to get me some room back. Maybe put some in that pretty box that I got. Okay, so pack number 6. We are officially past the halfway mark. No Elspeth yet. I mean, that would be incredible if we got it, but you know, might not happen. That's just how it goes. But we're having fun opening packs. We're getting ready. We're getting the copium ready now. So when we don't open it, we're still like, hey, look at all those cool cards we opened. But there's been some cool hits so far. I do like a couple of the staple, just generally useful cards we've opened. Piercing Exhale. Let's move this a little closer to the camera and let's straighten our back so we don't get back issues and look like a shrimp. Snowmelt Stag. A Riling Dawnbreaker. A Seize Opportunity. Sandskitter Outrider, Hazegarner. Undergrowth Leopard. And we're starting to see some of these. We're getting familiar with the commons in the set. Sibsig Appraiser. Zombie Advisor. I would trust a zombie with my taxes. Unburied Earth Carver. Riverwheel Sweep. Tap and 3 stun counters. Alright, that's like basically removal. And then also exile top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them. You can play that card. Interesting. A little pricey, but it's nice. Traveling Botanist. Another good dog. Aegis Sculptor. Bird Wizard. Ooh, Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. It is add a colorless, or add 1 mana of any color. Spends might only cast dragons or omens. Or pay 4 and tap, sack it. Search your library for a dragon card, reveal it, put it in your hand. So this land is good mana fixing in a dragon deck, and it is a 1-use tutor for a dragon. This guy seems legit. I think that's a pretty good card. And then a Fire Rim Form. Give someone first strike and +2/+0. And another one of those life lands. Or a Treasury token. A little Dragon Horde Treasury. And on the other side, it's a Zombie Druid. Nice. Alright, I'm going to stretch my back for a second. I'm going to move some of these cards around, get my table a little more clear, and then we're going to go into the last 3 packs. So get ready. Alright, we've cleared some space. Got 3 more packs to go. Hope springs eternal. I want to see some heat. I want to see some cool shit happen here. Let's see what we get. Alright, Teamer Devotee. This is another one of the mana fixing ones per turn. 3/3 defender for 2 is not bad. Playable and limited. Arsheen Sunshield. Molten Exhale. Worthy cost. That is sick art. Look at that. That dude, unafraid of anything. Ooh, which just reminds me, I also would love to open one of the chicken riders. The chicken riders look sick, and I think they look really fun. I would love to open one of those. But this is an exile with a sacrifice a creature for 1. That's also just a really good, solid common. Sagu Pummeler. Jade Cast Sentinel. An ape snake. I guess he is. He looks like a statue for a second. I guess he's like sort of like a Naga situation. He's a reach 1/5 for 4, but a target card from the bottom of the library. Okay. It's not. Ooh, Monastery Messenger. Pretty. Very pretty art. Bird Scout, Flying Vigilance. Enters, put 1 target non-creature non-link card for graveyard on top of your library. Okay. Solid. 100 Battle Veteran. That's impressive. 4/2 for 4. So 3 more different kinds of counters among creatures you control. This is +2. This is a 6/6 for 4, as long as you meet the condition. Alright. Different kinds of counters. Fascinating. You may cast it from your graveyard. If you do, it enters with a finality counter on it. Sick. Furious Forebear. This guy's Enki. He's so mad. Whenever your creature you control dies, if it's in your graveyard, you may pay this, or you can return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Cool, recursion. Alright, we get a Teamer Monument. Creates a 5/5 elephant. Search for a thing. It's okay. Okay, we got a Runescale Stormbrood. So we got the omen here of the Chilling Screech. Counter trigger spells remember the 2 or less. That's a good omen. That's a good repeatable omen. And then it's stapled to a 2/4 flyer for 4. Whenever you cast a non-creature or dragon spell, it gets +2/+0. Alright, it's not a bad card. It's pretty good. Ooh, okay, we got a Roar of Endless Song. We got a saga that creates 2 elephants, one on that turn, one on the next turn, and on the 3rd turn. Double the power and toughness of each creature you control. That's potentially an interesting finisher. That's really cool art too. I like sort of that sort of wall painting, sort of mythic kind of Mesoamerican kind of vibe. It's really cool. And Molten Exhale in foil. And what are those lands? But this one's foily. And then we got a goblin and a warrior. Okay. Tarkir, I'm gonna be honest. We've seen 1 mythic out of the 9 packs so far. We've got 2 more packs to go. Got this one, I got this one. I would love it. It's got a Elspeth on one of these. Maybe a Battle Chicken. Maybe an Ugin. Maybe a Mox. Something cool. But, you know, I'm not mad at you if you don't. But I'm requesting it. You know? I'm beseeching the fates. Okay. Well, first, we got a token for this Reliquary Dragon. He's really cool. Hopefully he's a good omen. You see what I did there? Because there's omens in the set. Anyway. Wild Ride. Ooh, a crocodile. When it dies, you make a zombie. What a good crocodile. Got a Sultai Devotee. Another way to use Filter guys. 2/1 Death Touch for 2. Solid. Got a Ice Ridge Serpent. Salt Road Pack Beast. Got a Reputable Merchant. I presume it's the human and not the turtle, but I would like, it says human citizen, but I would have loved it if the Reputable Merchant were the turtle. That's the world I want to live in. Oh, but when he dies, you put a +1/+1 on each creature you control. That's solid. I was saying earlier that this was not a go wide color. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm mixing that up because we've seen a lot of go wide abilities on these. Dusyet Earthcarver. Endure. Lion Wait. Sultai. Return creature from graveyard to your hand. Deals damage equal to its power to target creature. So it's a recursion and removal. That's pretty sick. They're pretty sick, sort of Draco Lich kind of looking dragon. Dalkovan Pack Beasts. Vigilance mobilize 3/0/4 for 3. Solid. Got a Rainveil Rejuvenator. Mill 3 cards. Add amount of green equal to this creature's power. Fascinating. A little pricey for 4, but I can see it being neat in some situations. Got a Yarthan Tomb Guard, Human Warrior for 3. There's also a Counters Matter card. Okay. Hollow Merc Siege. Enchantment for 2. Choose either Salty or Absent. Salty. Whenever a counter is put on a creature you control, draw a card once per turn. Or when you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target catching creature gains a menace. Not bad. Ooh, baby. Sometimes you just need to beseech the fates, and sometimes your prayers are answered. I'm not going to start praying to dragons or Wizards of the Coast. I'd probably pray to dragons before I pray to Wizards of the Coast. But that is sick. In the border, in the foil, we got the Mox Jasper. Look at that. And for people who are not familiar, this is a 0 cost. This is one of these Moxes, you know. Legendary artifact. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Activate only if you control a dragon. So this just gets slammed into every dragon deck ever. And given the times that we're living in, a lot of people are going to be making dragon decks. So the demand is high. That's sick. I am sated. I would still love to see a chicken, but I'm not greedy. Or an Elspeth. But that is cool. And I dig it immensely. So now I feel like this last pack is a victory lap because we just opened the heat. So now this is dessert. Let's enjoy our dessert together. And thank you for coming on this journey with me if you watched, because I'm having a good time. I hope you are as well. So let's just stretch our back again, get out of our millennial crouch for a second. And just, you know, let's just behold some dragons together. Durgar Ireland Dragon. What a beastie. What a creature. Stormplane Detainment. Rescue Leopard. Behold a leopard. Behold a crocodile. Behold a dog scout. Ooh. Behold a little interesting artifact. 3 for a globe. Each dragon control enters with additional +1/+1 counter on it. Add 1 mana of any color. That's a nice, for a common, that's a nice little mana rock in a dragon deck. I mean, he's no Mox Jasper, but he's, you know, he's nice. I like him. We got a Lightfoot Technique. Descendant of Storms. Defibrillating Current. What a word to put on a Magic card. I presume that this guy was in cardiac arrest, and this dude's helping him out right now with this. He's getting up to thank him as this is happening. So this is a, at cheapest, 3 cost, deal 4, gain 2. It's fine. Ooh. Dragon Brood's Relic. We got a Wooburg up in here. So tap an additional non-tap creature you control out of mana of any color. Okay, for 2. And then you can pay a butt ton, 3 and a Wooburg. Sacrifice this artifact, create a 4/4 dragon creature token named Reliquary Dragon. That's all colors. Oh, I think we saw that guy earlier. We'll bring him back. It has flying, lifelink, and when the token enters, deals 3 damage to any target. Activate only as a sorcery. That's neat. Let's just look at him really quick. I think it was just after this Jasper, maybe? Yeah, here he is. He's Reliquary Dragon. Nice. Sick. Let's just put him with him really quick and just put them together. All right, so we got the Reliquary Dragon. We got the guy who makes Reliquary Dragon. What else we got? We've got Surek, Elusive Hunter. It's a 4/3 uncounterable trample, or this legendary creature, mono green. When a creature you control or a creature or spell you control becomes target of a spell or ability to point controls, you draw a card. So pretty much guaranteed, if anyone messes with your shit, you're getting card advantage out of it, or at least they're not getting like a, you know, it gives you a little upside, a little something. If anyone tries to mess with you, so don't mess with this guy. He's a cool guy. That's nice. I like him. And then, just for a little extra treat, at the end of our journey together here, we get a borderless. We get another rare. We get a Scavenger Region. So we get a repeatable asymmetric board wipe in the form of Exude Toxin. So each non-dragon creature gets -6/-6 until end of turn. So if you're stacked with dragons, your opponents are a bunch of schlubs who are running some inferior creature type. That sounded speciest. I apologize. But from the perspective of the guy running this card, and then on the other side there's a flying 4/4 with ward. Like this is a solid dude. This is a dragon I would run, and he's beautiful, and kind of bird-like, actually kind of bug-like if we're being honest with that thorax. This is a weird dude. I called him beautiful. He's weird, but I like him, and he's one of our last opens, so I appreciate him. I'm just in a good mood after that Jasper, and then. An encroaching Dragonstorm in foil, and then, as always, a tap land that gives you life, which you will play in limited and basically nowhere else. And then we have a Spirit token, and thus concludes our opening foray into Tarkir. Thank you so much for sticking with me. We didn't hit the Elspeth, we didn't hit the Battle Chicken, but as Homer Simpson says, Jaspers can be traded for Elspeths or goods and services. I don't know if I'm going to trade it or sell it, but I'm going to enjoy it for a little bit. But I'm excited. I hope y'all have, if you're going to pre-releases, I hope you have a great time. If you're just opening the sets or playing with the precons, I hope you have a great time. I'm going to be going to a Commander event, traveling to visit some friends next weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Having a blast with Magic right now. But yeah, thanks to all who watched, and enjoy, have fun, take care, stay safe, talk to you next time.